So, have you heard of the name Jane Elliott? But Jane Elliott was a teacher in the 60s, and what she did kind of shocked the world. She did an experiment with her third grade students. It was called the blue eye, brown eye experiment. What I want y'all to do, watch this video and let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it at the end.
This is a special week. Does anybody know what it is?
National Brotherhood.
National Brotherhood Week. What's brotherhood? Treat everyone as though he was your brother. And is there anyone in this United States that we do not treat as our brothers?
Yes.
Who?
The
Black people. Who else?
Indians.
Absolutely the Indians. Many places in the United States. How are black people treated? How are Indians treated? How are people who are of a different color than we are treated?
They don't get anything in this world.
Why is that?
Because they're a different color.
You think you know how that would feel to be judged by the color of your skin? I don't. Do you think you do? No, I don't think you'd know how that felt unless you had been through it, would you? It might be interesting to judge people today by the color of their eyes. Would you like to try this?
Yeah!
Sounds like fun, doesn't it? Since I'm the teacher and I have blue eyes, I think maybe the blue-eyed people should be on top the first day. I mean, the blue-eyed people are the better people in this room. Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Blue-eyed people are smarter than brown-eyed people. This is a fact. The brown-eyed people do not get to use the drinking fountain. You'll have to use the paper cups. You brown-eyed people are not to play with the blue-eyed people on the playground. Well, the brown-eyed people in this room today are going to wear collars so that we can tell from a distance what color your eyes are. You ready, Laurie?
Brown-eyed.
She's a brown-eyed. You'll begin to notice today that we spend a great deal of time waiting for brown-eyed people. I don't see the yardstick, do you?
It's coming over there. Hey, Miss Lake, you better keep that on your desk. Let the brown-eyed people get out of hand.
Oh, you think if the brown-eyed people get out of hand, that would be the thing to use. Who goes first to lunch?
Blue-eyed.
The blue-eyed people. Blue-eyed people may go back for seconds. Brown-eyed people do not.
Brown-eyed.
Don't you know?
Oh, they're not smart. And it seemed like when we were down on the bottom, everything bad was happening to us.
The way they treated you, you felt like you didn't even want to try to do anything.
It seemed like Mrs. Elliott was taking our best friends away from us.
What happened at recess? Were two of you boys fighting?
Russell called me names and I hit him in the gut.
What did he call you?
Brown eyes. They always call us that.
They keep calling us brown eyes.
What's wrong with being called brown-eyed?
It means that we're stupider.
I watched what had been marvelous, cooperative, wonderful, thoughtful children turn into nasty, vicious, discriminating little third graders in a space of 15 minutes. Yesterday, I told you that brown-eyed people aren't as good as blue-eyed people. That wasn't true. I lied to you yesterday. The truth is that brown-eyed people are better than blue-eyed people. Russell, where are your glasses?
I forgot them.
You forgot them. And what color are your eyes?
Boo.
Susan Ginder has brown eyes. She didn't forget her glasses. Russell Ring has blue eyes, and what about his glasses?
He forgot them.
He forgot them. Yesterday we were visiting, and Greg said, "Boy, I like to hit my little sister as hard as I can. That's fun." What does that tell you about blue-eyed people?
They're naughty.
The brown-eyed people may take off their collars, and each of you may put your collar on a blue-eyed person. The brown-eyed people get 5 extra minutes of recess. You blue-eyed people are not allowed to be on the playground equipment. You blue-eyed people are not to play with the brown-eyed people. Brown-eyed people are better than blue-eyed people. They're smarter than blue-eyed people. And if you don't believe it, look at Brian. I use Orton Gillingham Phonics. We use the card pack. The brown-eyed children were in the low class the first day, and it took them 5.5 minutes to get through the card pack. The second day, it took them 2.5 minutes. The only thing that had changed was the fact that now they were superior people. You went faster than I've ever had anyone go through the card pack. Why couldn't you get them yesterday?
We had those collars on.
You think the collars kept you?
Just keep thinking about those collars.
Oh, and you couldn't think as well with the collars on. 4 minutes and 18 seconds. How long did it take you yesterday?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. How long did it take you today?
4 minutes and 18 seconds.
What happened?
One down.
What were you thinking of?
This.
I hate today.
How do you do? I hate too.
Because I'm blue-eyed.
See, I am too.
There's nothing, it's not funny, it's not fun, it's not pleasant. This is a filthy, nasty word called discrimination. We're treating people a certain way because they are different from the rest of us. Is that fair?
No.
Nothing fair about it. We didn't say this was going to be a fair day, did we?
No.
And it isn't. It's a horrid day. Okay, you ready? What did you people who are wearing blue collars now find out today?
I know what they felt like yesterday. I did too.
How did they feel yesterday?
Down. Like a dog on a leash. Yeah. Like you're chaining them up into prison. Like you're shut up and you're throwing the key away.
Should the color of some other person's eyes have anything to do with how you treat them?
No.
All right, then should the color of their skin?
No.
Should you judge people
No.
by the color of their skin?
No.
When you see a black man or an Indian or someone walking down the street, are you going to say, look at that silly looking thing?
No.
Does it make any difference whether their skin is black or white?
No.
Or yellow?
No.
Or red?
No.
Is that how you decide whether people are good or bad?
No.
Is that what makes people good or bad?
No.
Now you know a little bit more than you knew at the beginning of this week?
Yes.
Okay, now are you back?
Yes.
That feel better?
Yes.
Does the color of eyes that you have make any difference in the kind of person you are?
That was a powerful video. It took courage for Mrs. Jane Elliott, to record this. So it was a lot in the video. Let's start by how she started out. She told the kids that the blue-eyed students were the privileged students. And she said the reason being she was blue-eyed. So the blue-eyed students, they felt real good because they felt like they was kind of superior to the brown-eyed students. And this was just a one-day experiment. On the first day, when the blue-eyed students were privileged, but they put the things, the band or whatever you want to call it, on the brown-eyed student. But let's go to the feeling of the blue-eyed student. They felt like they was better. They was privileged. They was able to drink out of the water fountain. When they went outside for recess, they was able to play. In one day's time, just 1 day time, they performed better even academically. But that was the good part. Another thing is the bad part came in where they felt like they was better than the brown-eyed, and they would get mad and say, "You brown-eyed," because it felt like that they were blue-eyes people, and they felt all good. Going over to the brown-eyed students on the first day, this is just 1 day, they begin to feel inferior in 1 day. Academically, their grades went down academically on the first day. Why? Because they felt and believed that they were inferior. Why? Because it came from an authority figure, to the teacher. You know, she gave the instructions of who was who, and she identified the blue as the smart ones and the gifted ones and the superior ones. And then the brown-eyed students were the ones who just mess up, and it reflected because they had one authority figure, which was their teacher, to tell them, right? The next day she switched it. But let me go back. A brown-eyed student hit a blue-eyed student. He became aggressive because, and she said, why did you hit him? He said, because he called me brown-eyed. Now, these third grade students had already been blue-eyed, had already been brown-eyed, and it was not an issue. But when they were told that by an authority figure, which was the teacher, and let me show you this. That's one authority figure. Let's multiply that by all authority figures. The grocery store person, a police officer, the principal, the counselor, the police officers, everybody that you encounter and that you see as an authority figure, kind of, if they were to validate that, to give you that information and verify that and say, yeah, this is better than that, it would affect the child or the human being, whoever it is. But mind you, this is one day. And let's continue on. The next day, she switched it. This is the thing that really stood out. Now, the blue-eyed students were superior the day before. And because the authority figure, the teacher, Miss Elliott, told them that, no, I had it wrong. The brown-eyed students are superior. And she pointed out some faults of the blue-eyed student. One of the students forgot his glasses. She pointed it out to kind of magnify and say, see, this how blue-eyed students, they're irresponsible, blase, blase. And she told the brown-eyed student, take your collars off and put them on a blue-eyed student. In one day, man, their grades went down, their academic ability kind of suffered a little bit. They became aggressive, like if a brown-eyed student called, you're blue eyes, you're stupid, or whatever it is, they would want to defend that. And they felt some kind of way because an authority figure told them that they were, inferior or stupid or whatever. Now, mind you, being an African American, you live with it every day. You can't take it off, and it's not a collar. You can't take it off. You can't put it on. It's day in and day out, day in and day out. But you got multiple authority figures telling you that you're less in. They're either telling you this directly or indirectly. They're telling you this directly, or they're telling you indirectly, or even both. And yet you still got to function within the world. You got to go to school and you got to meet the grade. You got to pass. You still got to function as an individual. You're talking about the stress and the trauma, that what it can do to this child, a black child. That's trauma. That's not even getting, nobody's coming back and saying, oh, we made a mistake. The only defense you have against that, man, is you got to just be strong and believe in God. Hopefully God speak to your spirit and kind of guide you through life, even though you got all these different authority figures telling you that you're inferior. I can go on and on about it, man. I really don't want to get in too deep about it, but I want us to be careful, man. And that's why it's important as parents, mothers and fathers, to step up and to stand against that, and just kind of love your child and encourage them and let them know that you're no different. You're not inferior to nobody. You're just as good and valuable as anybody else. Another challenge that, African Americans face is that not only are we being attacked, our skin color, but our homeland, the continent of Africa. Have us ashamed of our own continent because of the pictures that's being shown. So this thing is just, not only are all the authority figures here showing you or telling you indirectly and in some cases directly that you're nothing, you're worth nothing, but they also, when they reflect our home, the motherland, when we reflect on the motherland, it seems inferior. Starvation, homeless. They just show the Ethiopian kids, the big belly, and just look sickening with flies flying all around. But, it's really hard to kind of, let somebody feel or experience that African American experience. But Jane Elliott, man, big shout out to you. You did a great job to kind of get these students to have an idea. They didn't actually walk in the shoes, but they had an idea and they kind of got it. Man, this is powerful. This experience is this experiment was powerful. I can't thank her enough, man. It took a lot of courage, man, because these students were all white. It was an all-white school, an all-white class, an all-white community. And I think the parents, they did not like it when it first happened. She went through it. But, like I said, I appreciate her doing it. Good job, man. America needed to see this video. I want to thank y'all. I want to thank you for watching the video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. If you found value in this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I make a video, man. Once again, man, I can't thank her enough. Thank you to the teacher, Miss Jane Elliott, for this recording. Y'all be safe out there, man. Until next time, man. Peace.